Most people spend decades working, earning raises, chasing promotions, putting in the hours. And still, they retire with less than $50,000 saved. Not because they were irresponsible, not because they didn't work hard enough, but because nobody ever taught them about the one milestone that changes everything. The first $10,000. And I know that sounds small, but stay with me, because what I'm about to show you is not about the number. It's about what the number does to you. Let me show you what I mean through Joe. Joe is 27. Decent job, steady income, 2 raises in the last 3 years. And every single month, he ends up somewhere near zero. Not because he's out buying luxury things, just the usual stuff. Rent, food, coffee, a delivery here and there. But here's what's actually happening under the surface. Joe's bank account has a cycle. Money comes in, money goes out. Account resets to zero, and the whole thing starts again. Every single month. And Joe has been in this cycle for 4 years without realizing there's a name for it. It's called the zero reset. And it's not just a money problem, it's a psychology problem. Because when you're constantly near zero, every financial decision you make comes from fear. You take the job that pays now instead of the one that pays better later. You stay in the apartment that costs too much because moving costs money you don't have. You can't negotiate your salary because you genuinely cannot afford to walk away. Then one Tuesday morning, Joe's car wouldn't start. The repair bill came back at $1,400. Now, for a lot of people, $1,400 is annoying but manageable. For Joe, with $173 in his savings account, $1,400 felt like a disaster. And here's the thing. It wasn't the repair that broke him. It was the feeling. That one unexpected thing, one single Tuesday, could undo months of effort. That feeling is what the zero reset actually costs you. Not just money, your sense of control. Now here's where the $10,000 rule comes in. And I want to be clear about something before I explain it. This rule is not about investing. It's not about crypto or index funds or anything like that. This is about something that comes before all of that. Stability. Because here's what most people get wrong. They hear about investing early and they think, okay, I need to put my money to work. But if you invest before you have stability, one bad month pulls it all out. The $10,000 rule is simple. Your first financial goal is not to invest. It's to build a buffer that nobody can touch. An amount sitting in a separate account that exists for one purpose only. To make sure that a $1,400 car repair never feels like a disaster again. And once you have it, something shifts. Not just in your bank account, in your head. Here's what I mean. Before $10,000, Joe thought he needed more discipline, more willpower, more budgeting, more tracking every coffee. After $10,000, he realized what he actually needed was breathing room. Because most people aren't struggling because they're weak. They're trying to make good financial decisions while constantly under pressure. And pressure changes behavior. When you're near zero, spending feels like relief. You buy something small, and for a moment you feel in control. And then you're back to zero. When you have a buffer, spending feels like a choice, not a reflex, not relief, a genuine choice. That's the shift. Now let's talk about the math, because it's more achievable than most people think. If you save $200 a month, you hit $10,000 in about 4 years. If you save $300, it's 2 years and 9 months. $500 a month? Just under 2 years. Joe saved $250 a month. He hit $10,000 33 months later. He was 29 years old. And here are the 3 things he actually did. Not the theory, the exact 3 things. Number 1, he made it automatic. The day his salary landed, $250 moved
automatically into a separate account he could not easily access. Not a different app, not a complicated system, just a separate account that wasn't on his main screen. Out of sight, out of reach, out of temptation. Number 2, he flipped the order. Most people spend their money and save whatever is left at the end of the month. There is never anything left. Joe saved first, spent second. The order matters more than the amount. Number 3, he treated that account like it didn't exist. Not for holidays, not for a sale, not for anything that wasn't a genuine emergency. The rule was, if it's not an emergency, that money doesn't exist. 3 rules, 33 months, $10,000.
Now here's what nobody talks about. What actually changed for Joe? He stopped checking his bank account with his eyes half closed. You know that feeling when you open your banking app and you're kind of bracing yourself? Joe hasn't felt that in over a year. He stopped making decisions from panic. That job he didn't love, he was able to leave it. Not because he was rich, because he had 3 months of breathing room. He stopped spending money to feel better about money, because he already felt better about money. $10,000 didn't change Joe's life because he spent it. It changed his life because he didn't have to. That's the whole rule. The first $10,000 is proof. Proof that you're no longer one bad month away from a crisis. Proof that emergencies don't own you anymore. Proof that your future is finally starting to feel bigger than your next bill. So here's my question for you. How far are you from $10,000 right now? Drop the number in the comments. Be honest. No judgment, just math. Because once you hit 10,000, something strange happens. The next 10,000 is easier. Much easier. And most people have no idea why. That's exactly what we're covering in the next video. And if that sounds like something you need to see, hit subscribe, because that video is coming next week. And trust me, you don't want to start it without watching this one first.